All right, that was Ronnie James Dio, The Last in Line, here on the Haunted Cabaret. And, from what we're hearing, I was about to discuss, fictional plagues like the Andromeda strain, but we don't have to. I mean, Chuckles is shaking his head. I mean, The Last in Line, that could be us. If, like Chuckles, if this thing, you're saying, if this thing that you guys had mutates a little more, like to another degree of effectiveness, we're in trouble.
In a lot of trouble. And a lot of people are sent back saying it's just a flu vaccination. The flu can kill you real quick.
Well, this wasn't the flu, though, correct?
This is a flu bug.
It is a flu bug.
It is a strand of the flu that has no cure for it. And if this thing decides to mutate anymore, if you can't keep food and drink down your stomach, guess what, folks? You die.
Sooner or later, yes, you're going to wither.
Yeah, it's going to happen. And who knows what's going to come up next year with this thing. Because viruses, like anything, they grow.
Right, but count on this show to look at the silver lining of just about anything. First of all, there won't be the traffic that I just ran into, on the way to the studio.
Mm-mm.
Right, I mean...
There'll be traffic to the bathrooms.
Yeah, I mean, there will be tremendous crowds at every Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's,
no toilet
gas
paper.
Station, no toilet. I'll tell you, we don't usually give stock tips here on the Haunted Cabaret, but if anybody out there wants to capitalize on this rapidly growing, out both ends investment play, International Paper, the makers of, what is it, Lacey? Charmin toilet paper?
Well, there's Charmin, there's Scott's,
there's Stop
the
and Shop
Angel
brand.
Uh-huh. Right, but I think if you invest in International Paper, the stock, corporation, I think you'll do all right because they do make more than one brand of toilet paper. Right.
Exactly. Plus, I mean, there's always the new wet wipes too. I mean, if you really want to be gentle to your bum.
Right. And the paper towels that you're going to be cleaning up the puke.
Exactly.
And bidets are going to be in big demand now because everybody's going to want to wash their butt after this. So those will be getting installed.
Now, do you think that, the pornography shops will benefit from this too? Do you think butt plugs is another investment play?
It might be. It might stray you away from wanting to have anal too, especially with people that have this.
Well, yes, they started out as sex toys. Now they will be medicinal.
Yes.
So they'll have to put absorbent tips on the ends, though. You don't want just rubber. You're going to want some sort of absorption.
Is it possible?
Like
is it possible that this pandemic was? I hate to be a conspiracy nut here, but in some of our other broadcast brethren could probably speak about this more knowledgeably than me. But is it possible that this out both ends epidemic could have been started by enemies of gay sex?
I'm not going to touch that at all because
you're really not, like Lacey pointed, you're really not going to want to have anal sex when you're the victim of this particular illness.
I'm just going to say toilet paper companies did it. It's their way of making you get stock in there. That's
it's possible.
Safer.
I mean, if Google can manipulate society to the point where, right, the defense industry, has a way of manipulating events to their favor. Why not? I mean, I've heard stranger things. Actually, I've talked about stranger things right here on the show. But yes, International Paper is your stock of choice if this thing gets worse, and we'll be on the cutting edge too. Because I don't know, Chuckles, do you think this thing is audio? You and Tony, is it audio system?
I hope so. It's been a couple weeks.
Okay, it's been a couple of weeks. Okay, You're good to go then.
Yeah, I'm good to go. The nurse, somehow she got away with it, didn't get it. Neither did half the other staff that was down there. I was the only one. It made me think that they planted that on me as a way to try to kill me. Well,
maybe either that or because you've been murdered and reborn, 5 times now, is your constitution possibly a little weaker because of that reincarnation?
I don't know. Maybe they tried to give me something to make it weaker so this thing would wipe me out, but it didn't work. Is that what you guys did?
Well, I don't know. Normally, I'm the victim of the plagues in the house, and I just slowly pass them on to you.
Stop being a baby. The Black Plague wasn't that bad. I only gave that to you once, and you survived it.
But that was way back in 1365. I mean, you guys haven't gotten over arguing about that yet?
Never.
No. Well, okay, I guess it's not an easy thing to recover from in a relationship, giving each other the Black Plague. All right, now let's go back to the music. Because we've got a few songs lined up here I want to get to. Because I know last time we chit-chatted our way through the whole show, and we didn't get to half the music I wanted to play. Let's not make that mistake tonight. Let's go with some Slayer. How about Born of the Fire here on the Haunted Cabaret? Rhode Island Free Radio. All right, that was Slayer, Born of the Fire. And we're talking about plagues this week. Born of human stupidity and flatulence and bad living and monkey bites and sewer rats and, all kinds of plagues, all shapes, sizes, and symptoms. Chuckles, if you were going to, dose the world with it, what would be your plague of choice?
I would have to have the Black Plague return.
I mean, that is the legendary one. Just the name alone.
Wiped out half of Europe. Not just like, little towns here, but half of Europe it wiped out to the point where there were so many bodies that they had to resume them and bury them in other areas. England
they had burial pits, but...
Yep. France, the most recognized one, the catacombs, where they took them out, the mass burial, and just started putting them down in these holes, and just so many people were... and that's a devastating disease. If that came back now, that would wipe us out twice as quick as anything out there.
Well, yeah, it would be for the same reasons that it wiped out London so quick, because everybody's... those were all close. Well, it would wipe out the East and West Coast really quick because city living is the worst thing for it.
It would wipe out the world. You think about that and how easy it is to transport yourself from here to Africa to Australia to even get by checkpoints. And this happened. Remember last year with the outbreak of Ebola.
Yeah.
People were getting by these checkpoints really Easily.
Well, yeah, for one thing, there was no real checkpoints that ask you, do you have Ebola? And they'd say no.
Right.
I mean, that's basically was the checkpoint.
And the plague takes a while to kick in. It's one of those things where you don't show signs, but then it slowly goes into there. So you could be fine. You could have contracted it the next day. Next thing you know, you're on a plane heading down to Australia. You just wipe out the Aussies. You get back on there. You're heading back to America, and you're spreading all sorts of crap through these airplanes. So the Black Plague, if it came back, good God.
Now, how does it spread? Is it, do you sneeze on each other for the Black Plague? Do you shake hands? Do you have sex? Like, how do you, how does the Black Plague
very
spread?
Much, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is spread by bodily fluids.
Okay, like Ebola.
Like Ebola, because even us talking, we're spreading bodily fluids on each other. Or a flea going to bite a dog or a rat, and
right, that's direct bodily fluids. But you're saying, but even sneezing, well, that's why I say it's worst in the cities, right? That's why we devastated London. Because people are walking by, sneezing on each other, coughing on each other. That's enough.
And this thing could come back. You think about it. The Black Plague was caused by dirt and, like, really dirty people.
Well, sewage.
Yeah, and it could happen again.
And you guys just told me that you've been, like, puking and shitting your brains out for a week. So that created a nice petri dish of germs there.
I mean, think of it. How many times does a sewer overflow into Narragansett Bay? Yeah, how many times does it run in the Patuxent River?
Yeah.
I mean, this could happen. We're saying, like, we're glad it didn't happen, but it could happen again, and there is no cure for this.
Yeah, and then now also some of these diseases of history are coming back, right? Courtesy of third world countries.
Yeah.
And, I mean, because some diseases were wiped out in I was going to say the United States, but in the Western world, generally speaking. Right? Like, was it tuberculosis is back?
Yep, measles.
Measles.
Was shingles is back. I mean, measles coming back because people won't immunize themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just stupid.
I'll tell you, that might be the epitaph of the human race. We are too stupid to live.
Like this
it
guy
really might.
Came up with a cure for the measles, and he studied real hard just so he can put a computer chip in this and give it to you. Think, guys, really. Think about that.
Yeah, is that the latest? There's computer chips in...
There's computer chips in the vaccinations. That's the
why
latest
people don't
conspiracy.
Want them.
People aren't taking it because there's computer chips. There's other diseases in them that
I thought it was because God was talking to these people and telling them not to or something.
I'm not getting on that subject either. I had to filter through a lot of hate mail last time we got on that.
Oh, I never get tired of harassing people on that subject.
I know you don't. But let me tell you, it's just one of those things. It's stupidity.
Yeah, so in other words, 2 steps ahead scientifically or medically. And
right.
3 steps back for human stupidity.
That's like if they found the cure for cancer and it was a simple injection and you refused it because you thought it had a microchip in it.
And you know who would come up with that theory? Me. Because I'd say to myself, you know what? They found the cure for cancer. Let's find out how many people are too stupid to live. And I think I would be the one that would start spreading that rumor, a real good one. Like, well, the computer chip's already been done. I don't know. What would be a good rumor to spread to prevent people from getting immunized against cancer?
Mind control and serums.
Yes. Yes, we will cure your cancer, but you are going to be corporate and government zombies. Wait a minute. We already are corporate and government zombies. But most people don't want to accept that fact. Yeah. So, okay, yeah. So this anti-cancer serum will cause susceptibility to government and corporate mind control.
There you go. There we go. Nurse Misery, you're a